Good evening. Anyone want to explain to me why the Phoenix Suns are in Orlando? From what I finished watching a Phoenix Suns game, and they are 6 games behind the 8th seed. And I know if they bring it close, they'll end up potentially playing into a tournament. But they're 6 games back, so for them to make the playoffs, they pretty much have to go undefeated. Nothing against the Phoenix Suns, but how would you take the risk of bringing an extra 24 to 30 people into that Orlando bubble and getting potentially more people infected? Um, no disrespect against Phoenix. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me why would you would put a team with so little chance of making the playoffs in the bubble. I guess the NBA wants ratings, but they're 6 games back of the 8th seed right now. Uh, I get it. It's the West, and you want more people there, but it just doesn't make a lot of sense um, at all. Just look at the standings here. Yeah, they're 6 games back from the 8th seed right now, Grizzlies, so they kind of have to win 8 games straight for them to get into a playoff situation. Like, if they're in, why didn't you send the Timberwolves? I know the Timberwolves are 6 games behind them. But why not just take everyone at that point? I understand taking the Trailblazers and the Pelicans, and maybe the Kings and Spurs. But the Suns are 2 games back from the Spurs. They're 6 games out of a playoff spot. Why bring them in? Why? I mean, do you need it for like an even number of teams? I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. Why would you bring a team in with so little to play for? Like, it's great. Um, their young players like Devin Booker and Deontay Tatum and etc. will get playoff experience, in a playoff atmosphere. Maybe they'll have more success next year. But why take the risk? The NHL had 24 teams playing to make the playoffs, but it cut it off at 7. Like, the only team I think that legitimately didn't have its chance to make it was Montreal and Chicago. But why are the Suns even there? I understand the Spurs and the Pelicans and the Trailblazers, but they got to leapfrog Lord Tunnerin. They got to leapfrog quite a few teams to get in. Like, I understand if they were the 9th seed or something, but they're the 13th seed. They have to leapfrog 4 other teams just to get into the playoffs? Like, I would... I like the Suns. I do. They played well against the Jazz today. They're a good young team. But why are you putting in the Suns into the playoff situation? Wouldn't that just let them? They're really only 9 games above the Warriors, and 6 games above the Timberwolves. Why didn't you bring the Timberwolves and the Warriors in? Like, this doesn't make a lot of sense to me. In the East, you got to stop that. The Wizards. But heck, if the Suns are in, why not bring the Hornets? They're only 8 games, no? 7 games behind the Magic for the 8th spot. So why not bring the Hornets in? Heck, why not bring the Bulls in? They're 9 games. Why just not bring every team in and make it a 30 team tournament? Every team gets a chance. In fact, bring the Cavs in. It seems like you would take on necessary risk by doing that. I make an argument for stopping it at the Spurs, and they're 2 games ahead of the Suns, but the Suns got to leapfrog 4 teams to even make the playoffs. Yeah, I can see the Spurs are a half game behind the Kings and the Pelicans and the Trailblazers, so you can kind of make an argument. But they're still three games back from the Grizzlies. Jonas Valanciunas and the Grizzlies. Valanciunas, Raptors legend. Jonas Valanciunas. Speaking of Raptors legends, with the Spurs, DeMar DeRozan. Why would you put the Suns there? I mean, I used to live in Victoria. The Suns were a big team. They used to have Steve Nash, but this isn't the Steve Nash Suns. I don't know. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Anyway, if you want, hit link and subscribe, and you'll hear more basketball rants. Apparently, the Suns are apparently playing for playoffs in the Talking Sticks Resort Casino. I get how the NBA is all in Orlando. Maybe the food's really good. Maybe they'll play there and, hey, the food's really good. But every time you turn around, you hear Devin Booker being traded. Trade rumors. And I don't know why the Suns are in the playoffs. I don't know why you take that risk. I'd stop it at the Spurs. But even then, like, they're 4 games behind the Grizzlies. I know it's only 4 games. I know there's some season left to play. But I would probably even stop it at the Kings. Like, make an argument to stop it at the Kings, only 3.5 games back, and there's a bit of a logjam. Unless you expand the playoffs. I mean, I know the NBA wants that money, and they want the Suns to do it, and, they want to keep the franchise there and what have you, but it just seems like a risk you wouldn't take. Anyway, subscribe to this video if you want. Hit the bell, and you'll have a great night. Thank you for watching. Bye.